Welcome to the Bells and Whistles show in association of Reginald's, Reg 31 and Safer Training Solutions. This is your boy Nando. I'm here with Jermaine and we have two special guests. We have Bear Management's very own Sophia Bhaumick and welterweight sensation, undefeated, Yasiiboy. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, thank you for having us. So excited.
Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it.
No, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Sophia, you was the first ever person that I ever interviewed at Bells and Whistles, and we were in a, I wouldn't say abandoned, but a closed down restaurant, and now we're here at Riverside. A lot has changed in the space of 5 months.
It's crazy, and I can't believe it's been 5 months. Like, you just saying that. You guys have done so much, and you should be so proud of yourselves. It's incredible.
Thank you, thank you. For the people out there that don't know who you are and what Bear Management is, can you let us know?
Yeah, so essentially I have a sports agency where we do things a bit differently. I take boxers and now moving into football a bit, and essentially what we do is we raise the boxers' profiles, but I do it quite differently. I like to show them and give them the opportunity and show them that they can do anything and be limitless. And we're kind of doing that through events we host, like press conferences and things like that, just to show them that things can be different and they can have like whatever they want and what everybody else has. It doesn't have to be as hard as it's made out to be. It can be fun too. But yeah, that's essentially Bear Management.
But what got you into boxing and potentially football as well?
I think boxing for me was different. I was a strength and conditioning coach before, and I went out to go and pursue a career in California.
Nice.
And it ended up at UFC. Now, I was in Muay Thai, so completely different to boxing, but there was something about the boxing side of it that I loved. I just love the way boxers move. I think it's different. Don't get me wrong, Muay Thai is beautiful to watch, but there was something about boxing that I was just kind of mesmerised by. And it's always different. I know whenever I talk about it like a dance, but it's kind of like that because everyone's so unique. Like obviously we have Yasa here, I have Yusuf too, and they fight so differently, but it's so specific to like who they are. And it's so nice to watch because as they develop, you can kind of see it in their styles too. So that's why I went into it.
Fantastic. And I know you have an event coming up in August, right? Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm hosting an event called What's Your Story at Box Park, Wembley. It's actually to do with, it's a youth intervention event, but it's really different. So we're focusing on direct intervention. That's the whole point. When you come to this event, which is free, you will immediately get to sign up for internships that will turn into jobs.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not doing it half-hearted. I'm not kind of doing this whole, get a mentorship. No, like you want change straight away. And if I can do it for just one person, that's amazing for me. I just want to show that change and that something can be done. Just like shout out to like Brent Council and Councillor Krupa Seth for helping me from Wembley and everyone that's kind of been involved in this event, my entire team. So yeah, it's been great.
Okay, thank you for that. Obviously talking about that event, who's going to be attending that event? Anyone we should be looking out for? Yeah,
so speaker wise, we've got Chris Congo, professional boxer from actually around I think this area. Yeah. And then we have Champs Barbers. So they're actually doing a talk on entrepreneurship, which is going to be so interesting to come to because their internships potentially it could be in their barbershop. So that's a really, really exciting one. And then we have Ant and Wiley from This Is Boxing. They're actually going to talk about making money on YouTube. Now, I'm not, blind to the fact that people live life differently now. It's all about making money on the internet. So we want to kind of bring people in to show how you can do that. And we have a surprise football guest who I can't announce just yet. But shout out to the PFA who we work really closely with who are helping us with this. So it's great.
That sounds great. So is the aim for this to maybe get kids off the street, maybe to get away from that life of crime and getting away from gangs and giving them that opportunity and see that there is better things in life than committing crimes or being peer pressured into doing things you don't want to do?
Yeah, it's definitely that. I haven't advertised it as that because I think these days there are so many knife crime concepts, there's so many things that give it this negative view, and I'm not saying that at all. I'm just providing another option. I'm not saying that what they're doing now is bad, because that's their choice. But if I can provide that other option, then there's no excuse anymore, is there really? It's like there's that option too. And we will be doing this quite frequently, so the opportunities will become more and more. And we're purely focusing on music, so all the creative industries like music, sport, and like production sides of things. So yeah, I mean, everyone should come. And the Notting Hill Carnival 2019 dancers are revealing their costumes for the first time at my event, so that's going to be fun.
That's great. So let's talk about the guy that's sitting on your right. Now, we've heard a lot about you, Yas, through Sophia and through other people. For the listeners that don't know who you are, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from and what you do?
My name's Yasiiboy. My boxing name is Yasiiboy. I'm from North London, from Finchley. I come out of Finchley Boxing Club, where I first started boxing, same club as Anthony Joshua. I'm good mates with him. I'm currently now a professional boxer, undefeated. I'm having my 5th pro fight at York Hall on the 21st of September.
Is that the undercard of K Prosper?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. We look forward to that fight. We're actually attending that fight, so we can't wait.
It's going to be a good show, man. It's going to be a good show.
Do you have any idea who your opponent is?
It doesn't matter.
So tell us about your style of boxing.
I say I'm more like Josh Kelly, hands down. You know, I believe in my ability, my skills, my reflexes. I've got speed. So I'm more of like an entertaining fighter. You know, I'm not like, sometimes I'll drop my hands, I'll showboat. It's just when I'm in my zone, I'm in my zone.
Would you say you're more like an orthodox fighter?
I switch.
You switch.
So it depends what I'm comfortable with. I don't look for it. It just happens naturally. Sometimes I'll just switch to southpaw. But I'm mainly orthodox.
Okay. So I looked at your last 4 opponents. So 3 were same kind of style as you, orthodox, but one was a southpaw.
One was a southpaw.
How did you train to adapt to that style?
I had a lot of southpaw sparring.
Okay. Anyone in particular that you did spar?
K Prosper.
Nice.
Yeah. So K Prosper, he's good southpaw. He fights orthodox as well, but because he had his last fight, I don't know if you know, he had his one before that. He actually trained southpaw the whole training camp. Okay. So when he got into the ring, his opponent knew he was orthodox, but the whole training camp he trained to be a southpaw. So it just confused his opponent, and that's when he beat him, stopped him with the right hand. But K Prosper, man, he's good, man. He's got a lot of power. He's got long arms, good reach, and it was good sparring for him, you know? Especially for him to be in the game. He's been in the game for a long time. For him to be currently fighting for an English title, it just shows what level I'm at.
It's good.
Yasiiboy, thanks for coming again. What I want to ask you is, obviously you said you used to be a footballer, you used to play for Arsenal.
Yeah.
What made you change sport and get into boxing?
To be fair, it's a funny story, man, because everyone asked me the same question. When I got released, I had nowhere to go, you know. My dad tried to take me to a Sunday league, and then from dropping from Arsenal Academy to a Sunday league is a big drop. So I just thought, it's just a different lifestyle. And when I was at Arsenal, you know, everything was paid for. We'd fly out to Barcelona, I'd get free shoes, you know what I mean? And then I was heartbroken because I was there for like 3 years. And then that's when I just dropped out, and then I was at school, hanging around with the wrong people, you know, people that smoke weed and get into trouble and so on. And then I used to think I was a bad man and hang around with the wrong people, and I used to get in a lot of trouble. And then literally I was in and out of cells for like a good year or 2. And I was on my last warning. I was on tag for like 18 months. And I knew after tag I was going to go to prison, so that's when I had to change my life around. I had to think, what can I do? And then there was one time in school I just had ADHD, I had serious anger issues. And I used to get in a lot of fights, and I used to look for it as well. And then one time the police, obviously, because I used to get in trouble for fighting a lot, they actually forwarded me to Finchley ABC. They said, look, if you like doing boxing, if you like fighting so much, why don't you just try to do it properly? And ever since then I started boxing, and then I went to the gym, and everything was just, I was amazed, like everyone was shocked, I was shocked, and I was just looking around seeing the boxing bags, and it was all new to me, and I was like, wow. And then when I put the gloves on, Sean Murphy, I don't know if you know Sean Murphy, he took me on the pads, and then he was like, oh, have you boxed before? And I was like, no. He's like, you've definitely boxed before. And I was like, no, I haven't. never. This is my first time. And ever since then, I just look back. I dropped out all the bad people, dropped out all the negative energy around me. And obviously, when I told people I started to do boxing, obviously they were making fun of me and taking the mick and so on. But I stuck to it, man. And after that, I became a London champ. I got a silver medal in the international championship. I boxed abroad, went to Germany, boxed #1 in Germany. And ever since then, man, like all of them guys now trying to jump on the back, trying to jump on my ride now, trying to act like they were my best friend. But I know if I wasn't where I am today, they wouldn't care. So
that's how life goes. But that's a very inspirational story. For anyone out there that wants to get away from that kind of lifestyle, what advice would you give them?
I'll say, listen, look at yourself in the mirror and just say, like, just look and see who you are. I mean, don't listen to anyone else. Even if you can always make the impossible possible. You know what I mean, you can always make it possible. You just gotta believe in yourself. It takes hard work, dedication. And listen, I can't lie. There was so many times like I wanted to quit and I was gonna give up because like I thought, nah, like, I got beaten up in sparring so many times. Do you know what I mean? Like when I first started, like there was one couple guys. They used to beat me up. Like, they were #1 in the gym. They used to smash me up, and I used to like wanted to give up because I couldn't get the better of them. And I used to try, and after a couple months, I'll train hard and I'll try, and sometimes I was gonna give up, but I stuck to it. I put my head down, and obviously after a year, that's when I started to bash them up. Do you know what I mean? After a year, I started bashing them up, and now they're now smokers, and they're just up in pubs and that. And I'm here today because I just dedicate myself to boxing. And you just got to sacrifice, man. You can't, with boxing especially, man. I'm telling you now that boxing is one of the hardest sports. I've done football. Football is like, it's completely different, man. People think that we just train and that's it. It comes with a lot of things, you know what I mean? So all I got to say is, if you want something in life, you just got to make sure that you dedicate your life to it and sacrifice everything to it, because nothing comes easy, man. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
That's a great story. We're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we're going to discuss more with Yas about what boxers he looks up to and the current boxing news at the moment, and who Sophia and Yas think are going to win this weekend. Big fights this weekend as well.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll be back playing a song off his new album. This is Beautiful People by Ed Sheeran.
Welcome back to the Bells and Whistles Sports show. Yes, I want to talk to you a bit about last week's fights. Obviously, we had a stacked card with Daniel Dubois v Nathan Gorman. Yeah, a good undercard on that one as well. Also, we had Amir Khan fighting in Saudi Arabia. Also, we're going to go to the first fight of Amir Khan fighting in Saudi Arabia. Did you watch the fight, and how did you make it?
I didn't bother.
No?
I didn't bother watching.
Why is that?
I'll be honest. I think it's just a joke, really. I never heard of the guy either, so I didn't really look.
I don't think anyone heard of this guy.
I didn't waste time. I don't know, what belt was it for?
The Pell Belt. The WBC Pell Belt.
I looked at his story the next day. I see the belt, and I was just like, I didn't even bother watching it. I mean, I'm not going to learn nothing from the fight. I only look at fights sometimes to obviously to try and get some tactics into it. I just didn't bother, man. As soon as I see who was fighting, I've never heard of him. It was in Dubai. I didn't waste time. I knew it was a money thing. That's what it was.
I want to ask you, what do you see next for Amir Khan? Obviously, he's looking like he's not going to fight Kell Brook. What do you think's going to happen next?
I don't know, man.
They're talking about Pacquiao.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a good fight. That'll be a really good fight. But I don't know, man. It's a bit tight with Amir Khan. You never know what could happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one knew about Canelo, and when everyone found out he was going to fight Canelo, it was a big shock. So
yeah,
I don't know why. Even if the Kell Brook happens, I think it's just a bit too late. Do you know what I mean? It's been stretched for too long.
Okay, so moving on from that fight, we're going to talk a bit about last week's fight, Daniel Dubois, I think Nathan Gorman. Did you watch that fight, and what did you make of that?
Well, I knew Daniel Dubois was going to take him out. Do you know what I mean? He was more technically better. Do you know what I mean? Gorman don't really have power like that. He doesn't really put out guys like that. But yeah, I don't think it was a main event, as you said yourself. I don't think it was a O2 arena either. Because I was watching it from home and I was looking around, I could just see so many seats.
We were there, so imagine we were moving to the front each after every fight. It was like getting a free ringside ticket.
Yeah, it's a joke, man. But Yeah, man. Well done to Nando. It was a good fight. You know, he was controlling the fight, but he won every round, didn't he?
Yeah.
Actually, he won every round.
And Gorman didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing the whole fight. It was just when he was trying to hit him, he wasn't. I mean, he caught him with a couple of left hooks, but he weren't taking that. He weren't winning that fight.
What do you think is next for both fighters? Obviously, Gorman coming off that defeat. What do you think is going to happen with him next? And also down the bar.
Obviously, he's got a good manager. You know, Frank Warren. He'll bounce back. I mean, he'll give him a good fight to bring him back up there. Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce, I think.
That'll be a good fight.
I think it needs to happen. It needs to happen now. He's got the British belt now, so
yeah,
that's a British level fight. I mean, so I think that will definitely sell out too.
But they're saying that because of Joe Joyce's age, he should be getting a title shot soon. Do you think he deserves that? Is he even ready against the likes of like Wilder and let's say Ruiz for now?
They're just looking at him because obviously he was an Olympian. Do you know what I mean? So they're just saying that. But I wouldn't say. I think he has to win at least a British first. Do you know what I mean? Every fighter, every top fighter, elite fighter has been through that stage, Southern Area, English title, British title, same way as Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I mean, you can't just jump straight into the deep end. I don't think he's ready for Wilder either.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm a fan of Joe, but I don't think he's quite ready for a world title shot. Obviously, you had that Archie Sharp fight on the card and Sonny Edwards as well. Are you a fan of those fighters, and what do you make of this fight?
I like Archie Sharp. Archie Sharp is there. He's there. He'll come in, entertain the crowd. I mean, he's there to fight. He was on his chest from round 1 to the end. Yeah, I've always rated Archie Sharp now. I used to watch him in amateurs. Sonny Edwards, I watched a little bit of him. I'm not really a big fan of Sonny Edwards. I'm more of a Charlie Edwards. Like, if you tell me Sonny Edwards or Charlie, I'll rate Charlie more. But yeah, I didn't really watch the Sonny Edwards fight.
So obviously this weekend we got a lot of great fights.
Yeah,
Let's start off with the one I'm looking forward to, Dave Allen, David Price. It's that David and Goliath, but it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
What's your prediction for this fight?
I think Allen, man.
Same.
I
said that as well. Nice body shot.
Yeah, I think Allen just technically he's more accurate with his shots, and right now I think he carries the power as well. You know, I think Price is done, man. I'll be honest.
And I think Allen's coming in with the confidence that he beat Lucas Brown as well.
That's
maybe.
It,
Like, Price has never had that confidence.
And Lucas Brown is a bigger puncher than Price. Technically, I think he is.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to disagree with you two guys there. I'm going to go for big Price to win that fight. I just think if he has confidence in himself and lets his hands go, I think he could stop. And I really do. Obviously, when he lost to Povetkin, I think it's a confidence issue because he should have got him out earlier. I think Price will win this fight, if I'm honest with you guys.
Sophia, what do you think?
I don't know, you know, I like to see like a good brawl, but I'm not sure with these two. Usually it's quite easy to call this, I don't know, I just want to see a good fight.
Draw?
Can you imagine? No, I don't think that could ever happen on a Matchroom show, could it really?
God forbid.
Yeah.
We've got Chisora. Do you know what, Jermaine, you have to pronounce this guy's name. I always struggle with it.
Spilka.
Yeah. So obviously they're looking past Spilka and they're saying that Chisora might fight Parker next. That'll be a great fight. On the AJ Ruiz bill, what do you think of that?
Chisora and Parker. I think Parker, man.
You think Parker beat him?
Yeah, I think Parker. He's technically a better boxer. You know, Chisora's what was his last fight against?
Gashi?
Yeah,
Gashi, and that's who he's been sparring for this fight.
Yeah. I mean, like, he says he can't. I don't know, man. I think technically better. Parker is just a better boxer, man. Technically, he is better. And I think if he comes to war, I don't know, man. He loves a brawl. The last few fights always been war. But his t-shirt's now war, so he's just there for war now. So, but I don't know, man. I think he's just there for the paycheck as well. You know, Chisora he's always been like that. He's always a money man, businessman. He knows how to make fights happen.
Well, yeah, the reason he didn't fight Joe Joyce, he went, was it 50 million? Something like that. But that's the fight I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Chisora Joe Joyce, to be honest. Because that, but
he wanted that fight. I think Joyce, I don't know, man. That fight could be easily done. They got both the same manager. They're both managed by David Hay, no?
Is David Hay still with Joe Joyce?
No, Joe Joyce now with Frank Warren now.
Yeah.
I say switch.
Yeah, he switched.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But that's still something negotiable there. I mean, Frank Warren and David Hay. I think that's especially Frank. Frank's been in this game for a long time. He can make fights happen. Man. He's been there, done that. You know, he's the one that can make fights happen.
So obviously, Sophia, we've got the main event. So
Yeah.
we've got Dillian Whyte, who this should be a title fight. I don't understand how this guy hasn't got a title fight yet. So they're saying the winner of this fight is going to fight the winner of Wilder Fury.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for tomorrow night?
Do you know what? I think it's just, I still can't get over this card. Like, I think it's so strange. I feel like this card, right, we're overlooking the people tomorrow. We're looking forward to the next one. Why are we doing that? Like, look what just happened.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why we're doing this. But I guess if we are, like, Dylan, so with Rivas, I have no idea. No one really knows anything about this guy.
Yeah.
Right? Anything could happen. Obviously, White is, we're in England. We all want to see him win, right? But we also want to see a complete shake-up too. Because he'll still be in that heavyweight group regardless, White will. But Rivas, he's like on the outside. So, I don't know. It's such a hard one to call. Plus, I want to see something happen, something different.
Yes, what do you think?
Yeah, but I think Dylan actually deserves a title shot, man. The guy, since the AJ fight, all he's shown is his comeback.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's
improved.
points. He's proved. I mean, especially against Parker.
Oh yeah.
Him dropping
Brown
him,
as well.
him dropping him, and Brown knocking him out. He just carried on proving people wrong. And obviously, other people were doubting him as well. So, man, I actually highly rate Dylan Whyte, man. The guy's underrated, but
I think he can beat Wilder.
yeah. I mean,
really think so.
he's a beast, man.
Yeah. He's got no chance against Fury in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think Wilder give him a fight because Wilder just, I don't know, man. He's just too wild, man. I think he's just more technically better. It's boxing, man.
Obviously, there's another fighters happening as well. Recent Reactors fighting.
Yeah.
You guys know about him. What are you looking forward to this fight?
I am so excited. He's like the highlight for me tomorrow night. Just because the way he carries himself in and outside of the ring, like both, it's so entertaining all the time. He's always got that massive smile on his face as well, and he's everywhere. Wherever you go, you'll see him. I just think he's incredible, and I can't wait to watch his career. Like, it's going to be great.
So there's another big fight tomorrow, which I'm very looking forward to. Is Pacquiao defending his belt against Keith Thurman. They're in your weight division. So what do you think? Are you a fan of Pacquiao?
I'm a bit of fan. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of Pacquiao because he's a legend of the sport, man. But it's a tight fight. It's age and experience. Yeah, so it's age against experience. That's what it is. And obviously, experience is the key sometimes. You know what I mean? So it just depends. If Pacquiao's still got it in him the whole 12 rounds, then obviously I think Pacquiao just technically better, speed-wise, and literally he's been in there with the top fighters. Do you know what I mean? I think he's been there with more world champions. How many world champions has he been there? He's on like, is it 5 or 6 world title shots? I think 5 times.
That's a tough question.
That's a tough question, yeah.
Oh, how many weight classes has gone up? And
He's gone up. He's gone up from featherweight?
I think it was featherweight. Yeah,
Yeah,
featherweight.
so
5 divisions.
Yeah, so 5 divisions. Do you know what I mean? So like he's been there with everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. So it's just tomorrow. It's basically like Mayweather against Canelo. Everyone thought Canelo was gonna win. Do you know what I mean? And he scored it. Why? Because of experience and he's just been in there. That's all it is, man. But me, I'm going with Pacquiao.
Yeah. Points.
Yeah. I don't think stopping him. I don't know. It's a bit tight. You know, Keith Thurman can take a punch. And we've seen in his last fight, he got caught with that left hook.
Yeah.
He's still there. He was hurt. he admitted he was hurt, but he recovered and he won. So I wouldn't say he'll stop him, but I think he'll beat him on an easy points decision.
Sophia, what do you think?
Always a Pacquiao fan.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever swayed from that, but I do really like Keith Thurman. So I think, I don't know. I think, was it Keith Thurman that had that documentary that came out, like Lomachenko, which was about his training camp?
I think it was.
Yeah. After I watched that, I was like, okay, maybe I'm more, I don't know whose side I'm on now, but it's just, I don't know, probably, yeah, still Pacquiao.
One thing I want to ask you do you think, obviously, Thurman's been out for a while, he had the injury, elbow injury, and he's been out for a while, he got married. Do you think ring rust could play a major factor in this fight as well?
He could do, because he did in his last fight apparently. So he jumped from that fight, he said there was a ring rust, and he's jumping into a major fight right now. So he's been out of the ring for how long? He's been out of the ring for, I think it was a year or two.
18 months?
Yeah, it was a while he was out.
Yeah. So obviously Pacquiao's been active, and we saw his last fight, he dominated.
I got Pac-Man 8th round KO.
8th round.
That's what I got. I honestly think Pacquiao at the moment is kind of like a wounded animal in a sense of, I'm not retiring until I get that Mayweather rematch.
Yeah.
I think deep down he still wants that and still hoping that it can happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's done, man.
He's done. Well, exhibition fights he'll come out. Maybe for Khan, he might have an easy little, payday, but I think it's done. Pacquiao, I don't know. You only got Khan, you got Kell Brook, and you got Loma. I don't think he wants that smoke, to be honest. As much as I love Pacquiao, he don't want that smoke. So
Spence, you don't want that smoke either.
Nah, all Crawford.
Spence called him out in front of it. He didn't want it.
No, he looked scared, didn't
He walked away. They were asking him like, I'm not involved. Leave me alone.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to talk about is obviously you got Caleb Plant as well. Caleb Plant fighting this weekend against Lee. You guys found the middleweight division, and obviously him defending his title. What do you think of this fight?
I rate him highly again. That guy is the same situation. He's been in the same situation as me. People died and just kept proving it wrong. And obviously the whole situation with his daughter as well. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's an inspirational story. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what happened with his daughter?
He basically, when he first started, I think it was his 5th fight or 6th fight. I don't know what fight it was. When he was professional, his daughter was very ill. She was very sick. She was only a newborn baby. So I think she was like 1 or 2 years old. And she had to stay in hospital to live. And she was on she was basically on fluids and stuff, and she had medication, so she had to live in hospital. So he used to go to the hospital, be with her all day, go to training, come back, stay with her again, come back to training, and literally he just has to back and forth, even for his fight as well. So he basically lived in hospital, and then he got to a point where I think it was like after 8 months or something, he said, the doctor said to him, he was like, your daughter's basically going to pass away in like 2 weeks' time. So he basically told her that your daughter's going to basically pass away. And obviously from then he stayed with her every single day, and he was holding her one time and she just passed away in his arms. So he promised her that he's going to get a world title. He promised her that he's going to get a world title.
Yeah.
And he promised everyone, like, this world title I'm going to get from my daughter. He did. If you watch his last fight, obviously when he won the world title, he dedicated to her. He was crying and was.
Yeah, a lot of emotions. You could see it.
Also, obviously, recently, he's actually lost his mum as well.
Yeah.
His mum was inspirational behind turning pro and fight as well. So he's done a lot of tragedy, and he's a fantastic fighter. I'm really looking forward to his fight this weekend. Yeah. And I can see him fighting some top fighters in the middleweight division.
Maybe Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to unify the division as well. I can see it happening this time this year.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
So before we take a break and we move on to football, we've got the controversial Tyrone back in the studio, as our listeners are going to be very happy to hear him. Before we go, I want to say thank you for coming on, guys.
Appreciate coming down.
Two things for our listeners. Your fight on the 21st September.
21st September, you're cool.
Where can they get tickets from?
You can hit me up on Insta, Yasiiboy, so that's YAS with a double I, BOY. Same thing for Snapchat, man. Just hit me up, DM, wherever, man. That's all. Yeah.
And the tickets are on Ticketmaster as well, right?
Not at the moment, no.
No?
No, not yet. But I got my team, wherever you just message me on my team.
Fantastic.
My agent, and we'll get that posted to you. It's not a problem.
Okay, we'll be there. Guys, you don't want to miss that card. It's going to be amazing. Sophia, before we go, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
your event in Wembley, where can they get the tickets from?
Yeah, so if you Box Park Wembley, have it on their website. It's on my Instagram, which is just Sophia Bhaumick 24, or my work page, Bear Management London. But you can also, in regards to their tickets, so Yusuf and Yasser, the two I work with at Box Park, we will also be, giving away tickets there. So please come down for Box Park. It's all free, and there are so many things going on.
We look forward to it. Bells and whistles will be there, so grab us for an interview or a picture. We're going to take a break now. This is AJ Tracy, Ladbroke Grove. So, it's your boy Nando. I'm still here with Jermaine. Yasiiboy, you're still here in the studio.
Go on.
But he's back. It's the controversial Tyrone.
The truth teller.
The truth teller. And we've got Chiz in the building. So obviously a few things have been happening this week, guys. I want to get straight to the one that has been probably the most controversial story this week. Steve Bruce to Newcastle United, and Newcastle fans are not happy. Seriously. Jermaine, what do you think of this?
Yeah, he said he's a Newcastle boy, didn't he? He said he's like always Newcastle, Geordie boy, yeah. But he slated him out in the past. He's managed Sunderland in the past. Newcastle fans calling for his head already. I'm actually a bit shocked by this, but yeah, I couldn't see it coming. I can't see it lasting long either, if I'm honest.
Chiz, the thing that rubs salt in the wound as well, they got rid of Rafa Benitez, right? Apparently the rumours were, they didn't see his vision, they didn't give him money. Apparently there's rumours Steve Bruce is going to get 90 million war chest to spend.
I'm not being disrespectful, but Newcastle, they're not a big club. Let's just put that straight, they're not a big club.
But to the fans, they are.
To them, but that's like saying everyone a big club to the Evertonians. They're not, realistically, they're not. Let's put it because they've got a big stadium and the fans at Christmas take their shirts off in the winter. Doesn't make you a big fan, doesn't make you a big club. Steve Bruce is probably what they deserve. He's a good manager, let's not get right. He'll sort the defence out and then make them solid. And if he's got 9 million, he's going to get a couple of bargains. Daniel Sturridge, you can get him. He's on a free.
Speaking of Sturridge, he's linked with Aston Villa, but that's a different story. But
yeah.
The thing is, you can't go from Rafa Benitez to Steve Bruce. Come on.
But who's out there? Mourinho. They're not going to get Mourinho.
No, they would have got Mourinho if this takeover would have happened.
Nah, I think Steve Bruce is perfect for them.
It's Newcastle.
So here we go. Controversial Tyrone.
At the
end of the day, Newcastle they've got history, but that's about it.
What
at
history?
The end of the day, yeah, they've got history. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the Premiership's all-time top goal scorer.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
listen, I've got Newcastle in my heart. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
so
but for me,
I do like Newcastle.
But for me, you need to look at what's available and look at Newcastle's situation. For me, Steve Bruce he's not the greatest, but he's not the worst. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they need someone to manage that can handle the owner, Mike Ashley, demands and his situations that he's put the club in. So I think it's a good pairing. He wants to get back into coaching. So I think just give him some time. Like Frank Lampard, you got to give him some time and see what happens,
Speaking of Lampard, obviously today already trending on Twitter, Lampard out. That's from the rival clubs. That's not from Chelsea fans. Look, let's not take friendlies too serious. All right, we lost to the Japanese team. I looked at the team and I thought it's actually a decent team that we put out. I'm not gonna lie, we should have actually beat them.
Yeah.
I sneakily watched a little bit of the game at work on my computer. We actually played all right, but there's something missing, of course, we've got the transfer ban, we've got these kids. You got to give them a chance. The way people are talking as if we're going to get relegated. Come on, guys, let's be serious. I already said, here we go. Go on, Tyrone.
I just want you to play like that against United at the start of the season. That's all I care about. Play exactly like that, please.
I promise my listeners right now that the day if we beat them on the first day, I'm Skyping this show the following Friday because I'll be in Italy. I'll be Skyping the show. I'll be doing an Instagram live with Tyrone that same day. It will go all over the internet. I'm telling you that now. But speaking of Chelsea, obviously there's been a few friendlies this week. Do you want to take us through that, boys?
Yeah, so I'll go through the most shocking one was Barnet 6, Crystal Palace 2. I just saw that and I thought, well, wow.
The curse of Zaha.
Or should I say, maybe they need Aaron, like they're missing him, because I saw clips of it and like at least 4 of the goals came from the wing. So, well, like I don't know. You have Liverpool versus Bradford. Liverpool won 3-1. Milner scoring 2. Milner looks like he's just an engine. He's He's one of those engines. Without him, Liverpool don't really function well. But let's see what happens.
I don't know about that part.
I don't know. I'm telling you, he's not the main guy, but he's almost like the Carrick of Man United when we had Carrick.
Yes. Do you know anything about Liverpool?
Wish I could tell you, but I don't.
Don't worry, they're not good enough.
Oh, okay. Who else been playing? United beat Leeds 4-0.
Yes, we beat them 4-0. We did 11 changes at half time as well.
Okay.
So everyone got a kick about. Who impressed me?
Did the legendary Pogba play?
Yeah, he did. He played very
Nice.
well. He played very well. Rashford scored in both games so far as well. So he looks like he's going to
Nice. He's earning his 250k a week now, or 300, whichever. Yeah.
Well, depending on how many goals and appearances. So let's just iron that out.
Okay. How's your favourite player Alexis Sanchez doing? Was he there?
Oh man, he's injured. He's in.
Oh,
Yeah.
good for you guys. Moving on. Let's go to the next game. Arsenal, they beat Munich.
Oh yeah, that shocked me surprisingly.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like what happened there? Like who with the
Jermaine's not happy.
He's ready to go, boy.
with the injuries by Bayern Munich was the sent off? I'm not too sure. I know like the Bogosky scored.
I think that's 14.
Do you know what the highlight of that game was? And it was so funny. You got to check it out. Troops was at the game, and Stan Kroenke was sitting right above him, cussing him out the whole game. He nearly got thrown out of the stadium.
Oh, wow.
You guys need to watch that. It's so funny.
Oh, great.
Wow.
I'm going to watch that then, because another one that's just talks too much.
Who?
Troops. No,
He's
what's
probably the only one that speaks sense out of
Can't you
the...
look at him and think, well, you're still paying your season ticket, so I'm stealing your money.
I don't think he pays for it. I think that's what's their names? Ladbrokes.
Yeah, I think they're sponsored to travel. They travel quite a lot.
There's no way.
They've gone over Denver and they're going to LA, so I think they get sponsored. But yeah, but staying on Arsenal, obviously, we won. Well, for me, I'm an Arsenal fan, so we won 2-1. It's not a surprise because it's friendly. A lot of players out from the Bayern Munich team, and we put a young side out. For me, I'm happy that people like Eddie Nakata got a game last couple of minutes and scored a winner. But we also showed some defensive frailties yet again. Hopefully, obviously, with this season, we're going to be spending some money and strengthening the squad. I've got to agree with Troops as well. Obviously, Stan Kroenke doesn't come to many Arsenal games in England. So the fact that he's in the crowd above him in America, he's going to voice his opinion. So yeah, I have to agree with him. But
the worst part, did you watch the video?
Yeah, I watched the video.
Apparently he said Kroenke was getting up and was cheering on Colorado.
Yeah, no way.
Every time Colorado were running with the ball, it's like Kroenke was like cheering them on.
He's going to buy them, that's why. He's going to buy them.
Speaking of Arsenal, me and you discussed this on the way here today. I want to ask Chiz this. Now, they've agreed to sign this 18-year-old Saliba. Jermaine seems to think that they're going to sign him and loan him out straight away, 30 million for a defender. Do you think they will do that when they actually need defenders?
I think that's part of the agreement, that he goes back on loan for a year.
Jeez.
But for Arsenal,
And you call me to do
they signed a centre back, which they need. Right, if you're spending 30 million on a centre back, you're going to play him. No, just about Arsenal's centre backs are shocking. So put him in for a team for a season, give him a chance, and then who knows, next season he might do good. But then you think about it, he's going to go on loan next season for a year. He's going to come back the year after. He's got then another year to have to settle in. Then Arsenal might not invest him for 3-4 years. Who knows? He might not be that good. I think it's just shocking business from Arsenal.
Well, the thing is, yeah, that as well. But then they're linked with that Everton guy, where they don't really need the strike force. They need defenders. So
I think
he's a good player, though.
I think it's just giving Arsenal fans hope that we're trying to link with these players, we're trying to buy these players, and nothing's going to happen. Like if they're going to buy Zaha, look what they did to Man United. They made Man United. Man United kept putting bids in. They kept saying no. When they finally got an agreement, 45 million plus $5 million, they accepted it. What do you think? They're asking for like 78 million for Zaha. Apparently Arsenal have only got 45 million. So if they spent this money on this centre back, where's the rest of the money going to come from?
I want to ask you, do you believe they have 45 million? Obviously, I was talking with a few friends yesterday, and 45 million, but you consider they've made a bid of 25 million for Turney, they've made a bid for Zaha of 40 million, and they've apparently made a bid for this Everton for 36 million. Surely they must have more money. You can't make this many bids.
Why would the club even reveal their transfer budget that low anyway? Like, the fans will go nuts.
Yeah, I think it might be a
mind games.
Yeah, exactly. So people don't bring up the price because they know the price at the moment is inflated. So if they get out in the public eye to say we don't have money and they bid low, then hopefully maybe they can get the player. I'm not too sure.
I agree, because obviously had an interview with Josh Kroenke, Stan Kroenke's son, the other day, and he was saying expect exciting times, expect to be excited in this window. So is he potentially saying that Arsenal are going to actually spend some money for once and try and compete?
But then is it just the Arsenal board just making its bids just to keep Arsenal fans happy? If you're going for Tony, for instance, you offered 15 million, got rejected. Now apparently you've offered 25. Why the deal done then?
Who knows? Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Let's talk about a few transfer targets. So we got rumours Villa are going for Daniel Sturridge and Cahill. I think that's two good, decent signings. The fact that they spent 100 million already, Aston Villa, that's huge for that club.
Did you say Cahill?
Cahill, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cahill. Because under Terry, do you know what? A lot of people slate this guy, but he's got experience. For a team like Aston Villa, I think he could do well. He could bring that experience and leadership to that club as well. Roma legend Daniele De Rossi is coming out of retirement on the verge of signing for Boca Juniors. It'll be done this weekend. Wow. Number 16 shirt, amazing. Inter Milan are turning their attention to Edison Cavani. Cheaper option.
How much?
I don't know.
30 something million, I think, because the guy is 33. Cavani. So
yeah, but I heard on the pre-match from Man United, Conte saying that he sees Lukaku as the main improvement for Inter Milan this season.
But there's got to be an alternative if they don't get Lukaku. He's not playing against Inter this Saturday, tomorrow. So could be a sign. The other sign is Juventus gave Higuain the number 21 shirt, so not the number 9, which means Mauro Icardi could be on his way to Juventus. They've offered him 8 million a season. It's quite big in Italy.
Wow.
Speaking of Juventus, two things. They completed the signing of De Ligt.
Finally.
Great signing. Second best centre back, we can all agree right now in Europe. Amazing. And the other shock, and I did say this last week, Neymar. His agent is in talks with Juve right now.
Apparently that's been denied. They actually came out and denied that. And obviously yesterday you had Barcelona put in a bid of 90 million plus the players like Coutinho, Malcolm, Dembele, Umtiti, after 6 players. On
Sky Italia, there was a picture of Neymar's dad in Turin. And the moment that picture came out, that's when Barcelona made that bid, because they knew finally someone's after Neymar, and they're taking it serious.
I think Juventus have the power and the ability to get Neymar. To be honest, I'm not sure if Neymar would go personally, because he sees himself more as a Barcelona player rather than a Juve player. But I think the pull might be Ronaldo if he does go. But
they got the thing about PSG is they got quite a lot of defenders and a lot of midfielders. The fact that they're offering midfielders and a defender, they want like for like. And I think the fact they're offering money in Dybala, I think that's quite a good deal for PSG as well.
That's a good deal for them.
That's a good deal for them, because Dybala will actually do well for PSG.
And if Cavani goes to Inter,
there you go.
That's a striker.
There you go. Because Dybala can play as the lone striker.
One thing I wanted to talk about, guys, obviously you had Neymar coming out and saying the highlight of his career at Barcelona was scoring those goals and knocking out PSG. Like, do you think that's a way of him trying to push for a move?
But I think that's way too disrespectful, to be honest. Like, this guy, he needs so washed out. Do you know what I mean? To wash out of his mouth or something.
The picture of Lukaku playing football with his friends. He had the black and white T-shirt on. just a cheap football show. Apparently it was him saying, I want to join in, and apparently did this when he was at Everton.
Black and white or black and blue?
Black and blue, so yeah. And then when he was at Everton, he had a red shirt on saying, Jermaine United, so...
It is a bit disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yas, what do you think about that? Do you think that's disrespectful from the players doing that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
If you was a fan, for example, of PSG, and Neymar came out and said that the highlight of his career was that he scored the goals against you and knocked you out of the Champions League, how would you feel?
Trade.
Would you want him out of your club? We're talking about a £200 million player as well.
Yeah, coming from him, I don't know, man. It's a bit of a mad one, isn't it? I don't know.
I didn't expect it from Neymar. He is a controversial player. That's the thing. You get a player like this, he will cause trouble in your team. He's caused trouble.
Yeah.
You know.
Come on, he's a talent. Can't deny that.
He is a talent. He is. But I don't think he's worth that money though.
How much?
200 million. I don't think he's worth that money.
How much is Cristiano Ronaldo, man? How much is he worth?
Ronaldo. He went for 100 million to Juve, but that's because of his age. If he was 10 years younger, he'll be 300 million. 5'4".
Yeah. Also,
that's mad. 200. That's too much. That is too much.
I'm going to move on. Obviously, Kieran Trippier signed for Atletico Madrid. Who would have thought that the guy who's been injured most of last season, off the back of the World Cup, get to semi-final, having a really good tournament for England, to get a move like this in this stage of his career is great. What do you guys think?
I think that's a great move for himself.
Cheap as well.
And for Tottenham, that's a good bit of business. Getting rid of someone who was injured last season for most of it, getting 22 million enough, round about that.
I think Tottenham got skanked. I think they could have got more money. He's English. He should be up. He's not worth it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what it is? The value of an English player is only high when another English player, another English team buys them. But when you're doing outside, they don't care about having as many English players within the team. So the value is the value of that particular individual.
So who's going to replace him at Tottenham? Like you got Aurier who's injured, and then you got that. What's his name? Peters. What's his name?
Yeah, no, you're
right. You know,
Carl Peters.
Yeah, Ward Peters. He's still young, so I don't know. And then you got Danny Rose, PSG. That's a great signing for PSG, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really like Danny Rose. I actually thought he was going to go United, if I'm honest.
I don't see where would he play though, because we're sticking
back. Left back.
Well, Shaw's the number one.
Be honest. Do you think Shaw? I know you was your player of the year last year, but your team didn't really play that well to even pick a great player. Do you really think Luke Shaw is better than Danny Rose?
But at the moment, currently, we've got too many defenders, and especially wing backs. So we need to almost sell some, because literally not everyone can play. We can only play 4 at the back or we play 3 sometimes.
Yeah.
So realistically, not everyone. I see 1 or 2 of the defenders already being shipped off before the start of the season. So we did have Danny Rose. He's just going to cause even more mayhem.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. He's a very great player. I'm surprised he's going to, or if he does go PSG. But he's a very good player for me. Very solid.
So a player that you like, Chiz, Cutrone, AC Milan striker, in talks with Wolves. What a great signing that would be.
That'd be, if they get him and got to play
Mate,
and Jimenez,
what
that front three.
20 million, that is cheap.
Yeah. And apparently
super cheap.
they're trying to get Diaz from Benfica, the centre back.
Serious?
Yeah, I just saw it before we come on, and then because obviously his agent is Jorge Mendes, so they're going to try and get a cheaper deal. So that's the link as always. So
breaking news: Algeria have won the African Nations Cup. What an achievement!
Wow.
Well done, achievement. Yeah. So Mahrez.
Got everything in it.
It's got everything in it. So what a move. People thought he went just for the money, he wasn't going to get anything, but he actually done well. So I'm going to ask you one thing, because it is game boy. I'm not going to ask you about Pogba this year, this week, sorry. But today, the move for Maguire is getting closer.
I think it's going to go down to the last minute of the deadline. I think Man United just don't want to pay over the odds for this guy, but I see the last day Man United just saying, do you know what, let's just spend the money, get the player in, and just keep him, or let's just have him basically. Right now it's just Edward Shaw at the moment. He's trying to get the bargain. It's like when you you go to Asda and you're looking for those bargains.
Hey, you can't go to Asda, man.
What are you talking about? Oh my
But you know what I
Take a
mean?
week off, lad.
Okay.
But you know what I mean, didn't it? You're looking for those
He just
bargains.
needed one controversial comment this week, didn't he? Guys, before we move on, before we go, what did you guys think of the Huddersfield new kit?
Apparently it's a hoax.
Yeah,
It's a hoax.
It's a hoax, yeah.
They
It's a
came out
hoax.
with it today.
It's a new, they about their new proper kit today.
Yeah.
No sponsors apparently though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Apparently they're giving it
So
back
they've
to the
been at
fans.
Barcelona now. No sponsor.
Oh, I cut the show for that.
So before we go, every week we do this fun segment where we play on this day. So we pick an event that happened on this day in sports. I'm going to start off with Jermaine.
So I've got 1996, the Summer Olympics started today, and you had Muhammad Ali was the torchbearer of that event, and he actually had Grammy Award winning singer Celine Dion singing that night as well. So yeah, that's my
Chiz?
Mine is the Great Dutch Side final performed on this day. So there's some great players coming through, so they was on this day.
For me, on this day last year in 2018, Liverpool signed the world record signing goalkeeper from Roma, and right now he's still the #1 goalkeeper.
what's his name?
Alisson.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to write it down for you.
Well, I've got two on this day. So on this day in 2019, we Bells and Whistle show hosted with a future world champion Yasiiboy right here in the studio. But the other one is on this day in 2003, Barcelona signed an amazing player called Ronaldinho, and
Not you.
and the rest is just history, man.
Brilliant.
Just unbelievable. Probably in my eyes, the third best player I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievable.
Third? Say that for next week. Say that for next week.
Save that for next
Yeah.
week. Save that for, he's definitely in my top three. Definitely. Ability wise, definitely in my top three.
Ability, what? If you talk about ability and he's third,
He's third.
that's dangerous.
Ability, technical. Listen, R9 will always be #1 in my eyes. But guys, that's all we have for this week.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for coming onto the show. We will be there on the 21st of September.
Appreciate that.
Guys, DM Yasiiboy for the tickets. 21st of September on the undercard of K Prosper's British World Title fight.
Cool.
Guys, this is the Bells and Whistle show. Tune in every Friday at Riverside Radio. I'm your host Nando. I'm here with Jermaine, Tyrone and Chiz. Thank you so much.